What's up, fellas? So you saw the title and thumbnail. Today I'm going to be walking through the Capital One Venture X application. I'll be sharing my data points before and after applying for the card, explaining why the Venture X fits my life and why I wanted to get it, steps to take after being approved for the Venture X, and make sure to watch till the end of the video because I'll also be unboxing the card for you guys to show you everything you should expect when receiving the card. If that sounds like a plan, sit back, grab a drink, and let's get started. So if you guys watched my 2025 credit card roadmap, you may be a little surprised that I decided to apply for this card, and to be honest, I was too. I always thought I was too far into my credit journey to get approved for the Venture X, so I always just wrote it off in my mind. But that's when I decided to check if I was pre-approved for the card just for some fun. And funnily enough, I was actually pre-approved. So I then had a decision to make. Should I move around my entire credit card roadmap to fit in the Venture X, or should I risk never being able to get this card in the future? The thought of missing out on the 75,000 Capital One Miles sign-up bonus was the main factor in changing my mind. And after being approved for this card, it would be my first ever premium travel credit card, including lounge access and a global entry credit. All that packed into a $395 card packed with $400 of yearly benefits. And on top of all of that, it earns 2x miles on every purchase, meaning I would be able to use this sexy metal card for most of my purchases. So with all of that said, I decided to go for it. Moving on to my data points before applying, I have an Experian score of 757, a TransUnion score of 749, and lastly an Equifax score of 764. I'm also at 424, 112, and 06. With a total of 10 credit cards ranging from 5 personal cards and 5 business cards. So with all that out the way, let's walk through the application. So when going to apply for this card, you will get the highest public welcome offer of 75,000 Capital One miles after spending $4,000 in the first 3 months, even when applying through referral links. So if you guys do end up wanting the card, please consider using my link in the description at no cost to you, as it's the best way to support the channel. I thank you guys in advance, and now on to the actual application. So after clicking through a referral link, you're met with the Apply Now button. Here you first have to fill out some personal information such as your name, date of birth, and social security number. So once that's filled out, you can hit continue. Next you have to fill out some contact information such as your address, email address, and phone number. This next page is probably the most important page, being filling out your financial information. You have to fill out your employment status first, and a little pro tip for students: if you are employed and a student, it's always better to click employed for better chances of approval, as you'll be seen as more reliable versus being a student. Then you basically just describe your occupation in this box. And obviously, total annual income and monthly rent or mortgage payments are the most important when dealing with most credit applications, but especially with Capital One, because they have a rule where you need $425 more in total monthly income over your monthly rent or mortgage payment. So if your housing payment exceeds that, then you're automatically going to be denied for the Venture X. So to avoid a hard pull on all 3 credit bureaus, you should probably wait until your monthly income is actually $425 over your monthly housing payment or more. Then you just have to select which bank accounts you have. After that, you can hit continue. And here's where you can add authorized users if you do want to do that, but for now, I'm going to skip that. Then you're met with the review screen where you just have to make sure all your information is correct before applying. Then once you confirm it is, hit continue. Then you have paperless settings, which you should always click because why not? It's easier. Then you can see what your APR could be, the annual fee of $395, and just a bunch of other things like that. So then you hit continue, and then you're met with some additional acknowledgments, which you can read if you want. And then here is where you would submit your application. So I'm not actually going to hit the apply button because I already applied for this card and I was approved. So as you can see on the screen here, I was instantly approved for the Capital One Venture X with a $10,000 credit limit, which even though is the minimum credit limit you can get for this card, I'm still very happy with this limit. So as this page indicates, the card will come in approximately 3 business days. And actually for me, I applied on a Thursday night and the card was delivered through an expedited FedEx package not even a full 48 hours later on that Saturday morning, which I was definitely pleasantly surprised with, so good going, Capital One. After being approved for the card, I was blessed with Capital One's signature touch of a hard inquiry on all 3 credit bureaus. This is because anytime you apply for a Capital One credit card, they check all 3 for some reason. My stats after being approved for this card was a score of 753 on Experian, which went down 4 points, a score of 744 on TransUnion, which went down 5 points, and funnily enough, a score of 765 on Equifax, which actually went up a point for some reason. So after being approved for the Venture X, there are 3 main things you want to do right away. First thing is if you haven't added an authorized user and you want to, you can simply go into your account on the Capital One website or app and then hit add account user right here. You'll have the option of either choosing an account manager or an authorized user. And right here on the screen are all the differences between the two. Even for some people who usually don't add authorized users, this card might be different for a couple of reasons. First of all, you get up to 4 free authorized users, which is super rare on a premium travel card, where competitors such as Chase and American Express offer authorized users for $75 and $195 respectively. And with adding authorized users onto your Venture X, that allows all 4 of your authorized users to have their own Priority Pass memberships and unlimited access to Capital One airport lounges, which both allow for up to 2 guests per card user. Second thing being enrolling and using all of the credits and benefits available to you, such as Hertz President's Circle, your Global Entry or TSA pre-check credit, and enrolling in Priority Pass with the Venture X. Sometimes it may take up to 2 weeks after getting approved for the card until you're actually able to enroll in Priority Pass, so just keep that in mind. The third and final thing you want to do as soon as you get the card is put all of your spend on it, so you're able to hit the minimum spend requirement of $4,000 in the first 3 months of account opening to hit the $75,000 Capital One Miles sign-up bonus. And a nice perk about Capital One that I actually never heard of is that it also has a tracker for your spend right inside the mobile app. And now it's time to unbox the Capital One Venture X. So here you can see the expedited FedEx package the card came in. This package contains the actual envelope that the card comes in, along with additional documents explaining card member benefits and other stuff like that. So having all these documents, I'm going to save the card for last. But first we have the rewards program terms and conditions, which basically just goes over the different ways to redeem your points, such as travel redemptions, covering previous travel purchases, cash redemptions, and lastly, gift card redemptions. Excuse the bad quality, this camera sucks at focusing sometimes. Next up is just a document explaining what Capital One does with your personal information if you care about that sort of thing. After that is an in-depth guide to all the benefits that come on the card, with notable ones being primary CDW, trip cancellation and interruption insurance, lost luggage reimbursement, and more. And the last document before we get to the card is basically a brochure for the Capital One Venture X showing every reason you should get the card, from its multipliers and credits to the TSA and Global Entry credit, and lastly, a little info on the Capital One travel portal, which is probably one of the best travel portals when talking credit cards. And here's the back. But now onto the part you've all been waiting for, the actual card in 3, 2, 1. And there it is. It's actually a lot darker in person than I thought it'd be. It's almost sort of black in certain lighting, which is cool. Here we got the satisfying sticker pull. And here's the card in all of its glory. It's a very simple metal design, which I love. It just has a clean Capital One logo at the top right of the card, a nice big chip along with the tap to pay logo, and below that being the Venture X text. And weighing in at 18 grams, this card is really heavy. As for the back, I was actually surprised how simple it is. Obviously, under the tape is all the personal information, but besides that, it has the customer service numbers at the top and the Visa Infinite logo at the bottom. The Capital One Venture X is now the best looking and best feeling credit card in my wallet, and also the heaviest. Speaking of, how does it sound in a drop test? Well, that's definitely the most satisfying sounding card in my wallet now. So if that's a selling point for you, there you go. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video and liked the video format of applying and unboxing in the same video, as I didn't really feel like regurgitating the same information over 2 videos. So like I said, if you guys do plan on applying for the Capital One Venture X, please consider applying through my referral link, as it will help me make cool redemption videos in the future. Also, check out my website if you guys are interested in some merch and blogs hinting at future videos I plan to make. Or just check out some other videos on my channel if you feel like it. Please consider leaving a like and subscribing if you enjoyed the video, because just like credit card points, it's free. Apparently only 6% of you guys are subscribed, so let's try and get that number up a bit. I wish you all the best, and I'll see y'all in the next one.